Welcome back, guys. Welcome to Wednesday, Kickback Wednesdays. All right, today what we have for you is a couple little items I came across while out and about, and we're going to check them out here in just a second. We'll be right back. MOSFETs here, or some sort of amplifiers. I'm not seeing anything that pops out. I'm not seeing anything burnt, broken. Yeah, fuse is good. Welcome back, guys. Okay, so went out the other day, and as I was out and about, of course, and found a few interesting things here. The prices were right, so we picked them. I said, hey, why not? We'll mess around with it or whatever. And also, I probably did have a use for a couple of these items. I got some ideas, so let's get into it. Let me give you a different look here, see if it helps any. So what I got here is a rechargeable LED light. As you guys can see, hopefully can see, and don't have any glare there. Might have a little glare. Let me give you a little bit more close up here. So as you can see here, we have rechargeable LED light. Got 500K. I guess that's the luminous, and of course the battery, and all that good information right there. I figure, you can always have a light, use a light somewhere, and this would be good, like an emergency light or a backup light, or even a motion light, whatever you want to do, because it does have motion, and it looks like it's got a couple of settings here for daylight, I guess, and night. Don't know what the real difference is there. Didn't have any paperwork, but everything else was there. I got that. I also got the USB cable with it, which is nice to have, and this is actually a pretty nice cable. It's shielded. It's got a good flexible feel to it, so it's definitely pretty good. And if we do the little quality test on our USB cable tester here, or multiple cable testers, we can see that according to the light, as you can see here, we're shielded and all points are working, so we got a good cable according to our tester. So that's always a good thing, right, to get a nice USB cable. So there we go. Not a bad deal. And also, guys, where I went, I don't know if you guys have any of these near you. Some of you know what it's called. It's called like a bin something or another. And basically every day of the week, they have a certain price range for you to walk in there, and whatever's in there, doesn't matter what it is, there's like multiple tables. Each one is full of mixed items. They're probably all stuff from Amazon. So it's kind of like an Amazon store, but they call it a bin something. It's with an S or something. Not sure. Bin shredder. I'm not sure. But so the day I went, it was on a Sunday, I believe it was, and there it was $7. Anything, each piece, whatever that might be, $7. They have different days. They have as low as 50 cents and $1, and it kind of increases like that. I think the highest was $12, and that may have been on a Saturday. I think Friday and Saturday are the two most expensive days, so probably the quality of items also change, but this was $7. So I was like, for $7, you get a nice rechargeable light, you know what I'm saying, with motion, and why not? So here it is. So we're going to check this out. For those ahead of time, let me get to the face cam again, because I don't want to overly power anybody. I'm going to turn this on. Okay, guys. So 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty decent. That's pretty bright. and there's the motion, so you see it works. That's jam up, and that's in daytime. So I guess you can set this up that even in daytime, it'll still use the motion and the light will still come on, which, you know, most of the motion sensors during the day, the light won't come on. So this might have, you know, your different application for inside the home. Even though it's lit up, let's say it's daytime already, it'll still light up. So that's pretty cool. And I guess you could do night too. Don't really know what the difference would be because it's going to be working the same way, but it is what it is. So that is awesome. Let's turn that off. Sorry about the brightness. I just wanted to show you guys. Not bad. Comes with the little mounting bracket. So that's cool. And I assume that we're going to find some screws underneath these pads. So we'll get into that in just a second, I guess. And then we have another little gadget here. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's do one at a time here. Put this over here. And let's get into this. See what all is inside. I don't imagine that there's much in here. You know, at the end of the day, I don't think there's much because honestly, it's just a light. So, but we like to see, right? We like to see what we have. So, wow, I don't see any screws there. So maybe this just pops off. Let's see. But just in case, let's take off one from this side in case maybe there's only two on one side and it clips on here. You know what I mean? So let's just be safe and just take a quick peek and see. Nope, that one either. So this probably just comes apart from the top. Looks like from the top. Everything else looks sealed, guys. So at least it seems that way. Yeah, I need to get something underneath there. Where are my little guitar picks here? Yeah, I mean, looks like that's come apart now. Here we go. Wow, look at there. Wow. Man, this is just like you ever opened up a modern LCD screen? We have identical looking LEDs with the diffusers on them. That's pretty cool. Let's get a close up. You guys can see a little bit better. Let me cut this light off for a minute, see if it cuts off some of the glare. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Hopefully to make it too dark for you guys to see. So how many lights do we have here? Let's see. I'm going to turn the light back on, guys, so you can see a little bit better. Minus the glare. What do we have here? Let's get the microscope. I want to see what those chips are, you know? Let's see what we got. There we go. Got a little bit of Can't really see that well there. Let's see. All right, hold on, guys. Let me try to get a different view here. See if we can tell what this is. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with that. Let me spin it around. Well, not seeing it very well, guys. Sorry. Don't know what is going on there. Let me try moving my... Hold on. We ain't done yet. This is just getting me aggravated. So let me see if I can turn on this thing of mine here and see what this is, because oh, there we go. Got a little bit of being able to see what that might be. Let's take a picture of that. All right. There's the other one. Well, they really made it hard to see that. I'm trying to get a little bit of a look here to see what it might be. That might be about the best I'm going to get right there. Oh, right there, maybe. Oh, there we go. Found just the right angle. There we go. Okay, so these two are the same. All right, guys. Those two were the same. Somebody got their zero resistor there a little crooked, but it looks like it's on there. So, and it looks like we have some empty pads. So maybe this thing could have done some other things or a different flavor, you know. All right, let's see what we got here. That looks like the same chip. So evidently, these are some sort of MOSFETs, more than likely. We can check that out and see. There's our USB connector right there, USB-C. There's our resistors for our switch. Got another little IC here. Trying to see if I can see what that is. I have to zoom in on that one too. Hold on. We want to see what these are, right? There we go. Take a snapshot. If you guys see the picture go dark for a second, that's because I'm taking a snapshot with the microscope, and it tends to go blank for a second while it takes a snapshot. All right, so we only have one other major IC closer to the center, and that would be right there. I see what that is. We can tell. It may be the exact same thing. Who knows? As the other MOSFETs. I'm assuming it's the same thing, but this probably has something underneath it. Let's open it up and see, because we also want to see about the battery. See if it actually has, you know, the running time it actually says it does. So let's take a look at it. Yes, this does unplug, by the way, guys. That was a nice touch. You can take that out and work on that, or replace this sensor. Keep it in order just in case. USB to the top, and that's right there where I laid it, so it'll go back the same way. Do we see any other screws? I don't see any other screws, so that's, yeah, there is right here. 2 and 2. Come on, guys. You're supposed to be helping me out here. There we go. Still nothing. Am I missing anything? Or is it just stuck? It's just stuck, it looks like. All right. Look at that. Wow, guys. That is nice. See, I'm impressed with that. You don't see that often. That is seriously a battery pack. I like it. According to what wow, and you can check out the traces underneath there. You can literally see them through that. That's pretty cool. You can actually see the traces. You know, you got the white masking there. You can see a little bit of it, but you can really see it down here. So that's pretty nice. I like that. But you see that? That is a dual, it's a dual battery pack. I mean, it's made into one, but you know what I'm saying? There's two batteries there sandwiched together. That is quite something here. And we can see right here, zoom that in, we can see the information. Looks to be accurate. So according to what I found out about this light, this thing will run supposedly for like 3 months on a full charge. It takes 12 hours, according to the documentation, to charge this. If it was completely, you know, drained, 12 hours roughly, and it would last. How they average that out, how many times it comes out, who knows? I don't imagine it's turned on and constantly running. So however they averaged it, they say it'll run 3 months before it needs a charge. That's pretty good. That's not bad. And the way it's set up with the template, it's just as easy as turning it, and you take it with you, plug it in on the countertop during the day or whatever. When it's done charging, bring it back, turn it back on to this thing, and you're good to go. So that's nice. I really like the quality build. This is actually a well-made light. Actually, they did a fantastic job, I think, with the PCB and the choices of lighting, how they have it. That is really nice. What is the we never did count, did we? Let me see. We never did count the amount of lights. So we got 4 on the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 lights. That's not bad. You know? Oh, plus the 4, so 20 lights. That's pretty good. 20 LEDs, each one diffused. Motion sensor. Not bad, guys. And we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 MOSFETs, I guess, to run everything. And then you have the little, where'd it go? The little IC here. How many of those do we have? Looks like we only have one IC, that small IC right there, which is a 5-pin, whatever that is. And then we have these little transistors, whatever they may be, whether they're regulators. I don't think they're regulators. They're probably something else. Probably just, they're just using them as switching. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice, guys. Well, we're definitely going to use this, so I'm very impressed with that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you think about this. It's pretty nice. Well made, well made. Oops, so that needs to go down one more. Let's see. Needs to be on this side here. We can get it there. There. I really like that. That's a nice little light. For $7, that was a steal right there, guys. So if you have one of these stores near you or something similar, leave a comment. Let me know what kind of store it is and if they do it the same way or is it a little different, or even if it's the same store that I'm talking about. Leave a comment. Let me know what you bought there, if you got anything, good. I think where I really did well price-wise is the next one that I'm going to show that I have on the bench there. I think that one's really, really good. All right, so we're plugged back in. Let's watch your eyes, guys. We're going to test this again. I want to see what it looks like behind the scenes here. Yeah, look at that. That is nice. So nighttime mode, it doesn't do anything because it's waiting on nighttime. So that's the difference, right? It ain't going to do anything till it gets dark. The daytime works like the nighttime does, but for daytime. So that's pretty cool. You guys can see how it lights up and all. So I'll turn that back off. Man, that is neat. That is neat. So yeah, so it's got 2 clips here, 2 clips here, 2 clips here, and 2 clips here. So if you're taking it apart, now you know where the clips are. 2, 2, and 2. Not bad, guys. If I see more of these, I will definitely pick these up. They're worth it. If nothing else, for spares or whatever, it's got some pretty good, a battery pack. That's a nice battery pack you can use for all kinds of projects. So if you can get this for $7 or less, if it happens to be out there on a day that you pay less, that would be a great deal right there. So, all right, enough waffling on the light, because I know someone will say, that's a lot of talking for just a light. This was cool. This was sealed, but it did have a description here. And it said generator transfer switch, 20 amp, 125 volt power inlet, box, waterproof. It says, kind of abbreviated here, main switch, I guess is what it says, power inlet box, circuit breaker, yada, yada. So, all right, here we go, guys. That's what we got. Dun, dun. Let's see. And this did come with instructions and some hardware. So this came with everything. Take a look at this real quick. Take a squeeze. for those following along there, so you know what we got here. And a little installation instructions with a little bit of a breakdown. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's open it up, see what we got. So first glance, what do we have here? We have generator power on, so we have a green light that would turn on, obviously. Push to reset, so we have our reset. That would be our breaker, I would think. And we have a generator off in the middle and normal operation. And then you have a plug to plug your generator in, I would assume. Now, there's multiple ways you could probably use this. So you can use it for what it is, your generator outside the home. Hook this up to your mains, and then you hook up your generator here, which makes it nice because you have your generator outside. All you'd have to do is basically come to it, flip this open, plug in your generator, run it to your generator, and then you could go to generate, and it would send the power back into the main panel. And it does have a circuit breaker, and it would tell you that it's on. So that's pretty cool. I actually got it thinking about using this a little differently, although I do have a generator, and it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put something like this so that if the power were to go out, you could just plug into it. There's your mounting holes, and it does have a place for your choice of where you want to go into this thing, on the bottom, backside, sides, whatever. So that's pretty cool. Let's look inside, see what we got. Let's back this back out. So I know I got the camera here, guys. I just kind of thought about this. Did you like it better, guys, that I would show a camera coming this way? Or is this good enough looking this way? Because you put too many cameras in different angles, it might get a little, little confusing. The only reason I thought about having the multiple cameras is only because if I do something and I forget, which I've done before, let's say I have the microscope on and I have it like this, and I totally forgot to switch over or something, you still have a side angle like this one right here. You can still kind of see to at least follow along if I forgot something. That's really why I do it. And also, that was what the other camera for. Although, why the other camera's there now is not because necessarily I'm going to do anything, but I have that there so that if I have something on the bench, I can just immediately do that and you guys can follow along. That's why I did that one with that one, because that one used to be the one facing us over here. It's facing this way. So now I kind of, you see what I'm saying? So you guys have a better layout in your mind. Leave the comment. Tell me how you would want me to place the cameras, and I'll think about it. If it looks better, hey, we'll try it. If you're okay with the way it is, then we'll just leave it alone. Anyways, back to this. Here we go. So we got our main box with our ground over here. And then we have all this goodness here. Nice heavy gauge wires too, by the way. This is, and it's labeled too, so that's nice. So this is line hot, line neutral. Okay, so you got line hot and line neutral. So those would be, assuming these are going to the main panel. And then these two are load neutral and load hot. So this will go to your supply, I would guess. And of course I'd have to make sure on that. I'm just guessing right now because And I shouldn't have to guess, guys, because I do have the instruction. So let's see. So according to this, zoom in for you guys. Those following along, kind of keep it still there for you for a little bit. There you go. So let me look at it now. So basically, my eyes are getting so terrible, guys. Load hot, load neutral. Okay. Mains. Okay. So definitely the ones that say load on it go to the device, and the others go to the mains power. So yeah, like I was saying, so these would go to the generator. These would go to the main panel. And then if we look at it here, basically all these go to that switch in the front. Okay. Makes sense. So you can go where you're supposed to go, whether you're going to the generator or going to normal operation, and then off. And then from there, they branch off to the breaker, of course, and then it goes directly after that to the switch. And then you got the neutral that goes to the plug-in and also branches off to the light right here. So you have a hot and a neutral going to the light. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's not. Sorry about that. See what I mean? This is why I'm glad I got the other one, because at least you were probably able to see me over here. But yeah, so the 4 going to the switch, for those who didn't get to see it, going to the switch, which once again will do with whether you go to neutral or generator or off, which makes sense, so you can control that. And then you have your neutral going to the plug and one for the light. And then you have the hot going through your breaker, 20 amp breaker, and then to the outlet. And you got your grounds right here. So if you look at this, those following along, neutral is this sideways one here. That's your hot, and that's your ground. So it's really pretty basic. It's not complicated. So it just gives you a means of disconnect and turning it on, which is nice, instead of just plugging in directly and whatnot, and not knowing if, heaven forbid, somebody does an accident trying to plug in a generator and let's say their mains are still hot. That wouldn't be good. That's the one thing you have to always remember with this stuff, is you're going to have to turn off that mains, because it's probably not going to be turned off unless you turn it off, more than likely. Now, let me see if I can get this in here, guys. Let me get this straight. So if I put this in, it'll be nice. What I actually wanted to use this for was to make it use here on the bench. Actually, I was just going to use it as a means of a switch and a disconnect for on the bench. I don't think I need it. At the end of the day, it might be an overkill for me. Oops. Because, I already have a Variac up there with a breaker and all that, but I was thinking about it as just as an extra means of protection, and something that I could have maybe, I don't know, closer to me. You know what I'm saying? I thought about bringing in the mains to it, and then having this as a place that I can connect the actual Variac, let's say, and then I could have the Variac on up there if I wanted to and still have it off here. You know what I'm saying? And then if I were to use it, I can basically hit generate. The light would come on. I'd have another means of breaker protection. You know, if something were to go wrong when I'm not using it, just turn it off or go. If I wanted normal operation, I wonder when you do that. I wouldn't imagine there's any power there at the time. And if you have off, it's just not going to do anything. But yeah, that was my thoughts on it. So what do you think about that? Comment below if you want to, but this was also $7. And I researched this thing online, and it looks like this thing runs for almost about $50 to buy one of these. About $47, $48, you know, something like that. So $50, I paid $7 for that. That's a pretty good deal. If nothing else, you know, you have, once again, I look at everything in that in the mentality that you can use this for more than one use. You can also use it for parts. Switch, breaker, light, plug, grommets, and even a box, you know, if you had some kind of weird project or whatever. So yeah, I mean, not bad for $7. I'm going to go back on a different day because that was just one day. I'm going to try different days and see the quality that's there, and then go from there. Maybe we'll find some interesting things I can bring in to check, guys, and have for our Wednesdays, or any other day for that matter. You know, everybody likes to bring in gadgets and whatnot. So hey, what else can we talk about? I don't know if you guys caught any of the watch thing. I did off camera happen to go back in there, guys, and I tore that thing down to the gears. And I was just looking to make sure there wasn't any damage in any of the teeth or anything like that, anything out of place. I could not find anything wrong with that. And I'll still do a video and show that. You know, I'll do one, even though I already went in and looked at it, because it would just kept bothering me. I said, what could I have done wrong? But I do not see anything that's out of place, anything I did wrong. I checked everything again. I took that whole uh, train thing that holds all the gear off and looked at all the gears. I pulled a few gears out to look at them. Nothing was broke. Put everything back together. Everything was moving. You know, you could manually move it. It wasn't bound down or anything. I looked at those coils to see if there was anything broken, any of the wires on it. I could not find anything, not even scratched. I mean, it was intact, and it's not working. It's got a fresh battery. So I don't know, unless there's another way to get that started, which I don't imagine there is. It's just dead. And it's weird because the watch was working. I just went to grab it one day and wear it, and I saw that it wasn't moving. So I just kind of put it aside and said, well, I'll get a battery eventually for it. So that's what I did, and it was no good. So I don't know. I guess at this point, because I didn't see anything physically wrong or something I could try to fix, I guess I can try to test the coils with I didn't even think about it, test the coils with a multimeter, see if there's continuity there. Outside of that, the only thing I could think of is something may have went wrong with that flexible PC board on it that has the, you know, the main IC on it, and it's got a few capacitors on there. Maybe something went wrong there. If you guys know, if you've experienced something like that with a similar watch or maybe the same thing, let me know. I'm on that, because the only thing I'm left with is trying to replace that quartz movement with another one. And I'm okay with doing that. I mean, at this point, there's nothing else I can do with it. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. And no signs of any damage. So we'll have to revisit that one maybe if I get some more information on it. But if not, the only thing I'll probably wind up doing is just replacing the movement. And hopefully that'll go well, because like I said, I don't have professional equipment. I do have some tools that I purchased. How well they work for doing the replacement, like on the hour hand, minute hand, second hands, and then trying to put that back on there. They're not professional equipment, so it may be kind of crude. So we'll see how that works out. I hate to spend that kind of money and I destroy it because I don't have the right equipment, but it may be something to try. Anyways, guys, I don't want to make this long like the previous ones. That should be pretty good for a Kickback Wednesday. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope everyone's doing well. Blessings for everyone out there. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. Peace.